great report on the baseball team. There are so many things going on right now. I'm repping my colors. I got my Vols. I got my Italia for baseball, the World Baseball Classic, which Bino's watching and I'm watching. Brian Hartman is, I don't know, conscientiously objecting. I don't know what Brian Hartman's doing these days. He's kind of embarrassed himself, but, whatever. Momo Hanks will be with us today. Mo Mari. Brian, what do you think of having Mari on that post game and whatnot? As the throaty said and whatnot today, he said Mari Hanks is doing a good job and whatnot. Mo, thoughts on that?
Well, I think he has definitely a lot more than I do and whatnot.
No, and whatnot.
I find myself listening more than wanting to talk.
It's
Hopefully
fun,
I don't
right?
interrupt him much.
It's fun, right?
Yeah. For sure it is.
It's so great. How much fun is this?
Best time of the year, Tone.
Hugie getting ready to join us. And guys, right before showtime, we had our first UT football win total published. In fact, we've got UT win totals published by one of the sports books. Bino, I want you to go ahead and guess. Maybe you've seen it. Have you seen it, Bino? Yes or no? It just came down.
I have not seen it, Tony.
All right, Beanstar, it's going to be fresh to you. What's the Vols number, Bino?
I'm going to say the Vols number is 8.
6.5, Bino.
Woo-hoo, boy.
6.5.
Guess I'm overly optimistic.
Well, I guess if I'm you, I'd play that over.
I'm playing the over.
I'd rush out there to bet as much money as I could on that over. 6.5.
They're gonna limit me, Tony. I'm a whale. They're not gonna let me bet a bunch on that number.
Bino, I'd
move that number to 8 in a second.
Bino, you've gained a few. I don't know if I'd call you a whale. I'm moving into that territory. Beanstar, did you see the clip before we get into the basketball of Bruce W. Pearl, Bruce Winter Pearl? Did you see the video of him on the floor of the arena?
I did, Tony, and if he weren't obviously an older man, I would have thought that was an old clip from West High School.
Mm-hmm.
Things haven't changed much in the last how many years that is.
Or Chattanooga, somewhere down there.
Is that where it was? Was he in Chattanooga when he got thrown out of the gym? I think that's right.
He got thrown out at West, and he got thrown out at Chattanooga somewhere recruiting Philip Jurek.
I will say,
some other kid down there.
I will say this about Pearl. He had a pretty good point yesterday. Thinking back on the way the second half was officiated, Tennessee mauled them, Beanstar. That was a maul job. They wouldn't even let him complete a pass. Mauled them around. Pushed them all over the place.
I tell you, Tony, I was really impressed with Tennessee's want to yesterday.
No doubt.
I mean, they're playing a game that will likely have zero to do with their seeding in the tournament against a team playing for their absolute lives. Mm-hmm. And we just absolutely choked them out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd have been easy at that point to say, hey, they're 10 points down. There's about 11 minutes left. Let's shut this thing down, get back to Knoxville and rest up. And instead, they just choked them out for about 9 minutes.
I mean, that Boswell guy, when he ran down that play and blocked that shot, and then that recovery block from Okpara when he went about 100 feet up in the air in the middle of all that run. And then as somebody pointed out yesterday, there were 3 or 4 like putbacks that were just incredible. I mean, a second chance opportunities with us diving on the floor. And Brian pointed it out yesterday. The 3 ball that Ament made came after he dove out of bounds to get a ball and was like laying on some people.
And Auburn just forgot about him. They just left him wide. They just forgot about him. He went out of bounds. They didn't think about him coming back in and being that wide open. And, of course, they all went and collapsed, and then nobody was out there to take close late.
Negative says the following: I officiated Stephen Pearl when he was at Missouri And he said he was something that rhymes with crass. Stephen Pearl's done a pretty nice job at Auburn, Bino. They saw enough players. They played hard yesterday. They just don't have enough players.
Yeah, they did, Tony. His start with that team was remarkable. They haven't finished, but I think he's done a fairly reputable job there this year.
And to Bino's point, the hustle play by, and he's really not my cup of tea as a two guard, as I've said over and over again. He just drives me. Boswell drives me. That foul he committed on the 3-pointer yesterday. He's just such a wacky player. But man, he plays so hard. It's like a whirling dervish out there. He really would be a perfect 10 to 12 to 13 minute a night guy. Just goes out there and just throws his body around, which ought to be his role, you know. But that was a great play. And the Okpara block, I mean, that's the kind of stuff when those NBA people are evaluating him, that's the kind of stuff that gets you paid in that league. At least gets you a two-way deal for him. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. So, Nate Ament, I'm not sure, Bino, in your lifetime if you've seen one player play 10 minutes of better basketball than that. And the thing that's really great, Matt Dixon pointed it out. In one occasion, he's got a Vol out there who's trying to set a screen for him, and he basically says, "Get out of my face. Get that guy out of here and get out of my way." It was so fun to watch.
Yeah, what we've seen of late, Tony, with a healthy Ament is a takeover gene that I didn't think he had. We saw it at Vandy, and then he got hurt, and we saw it again yesterday. Just a take charge gear that I didn't think that he had any.
Something about him in Nashville.
Yeah.
Brian, how about this Oklahoma bunch? What, they won 7 of 10 right now?
I think they won 8 of 10.
8 of 10.
I believe they've won 6 in a row.
I remember commenting that night. We had a spirit of appreciation for the Oklahoma game because they came into Thompson Bowling and put on a show, and we had to match them. It was a very high level college basketball game at night. In a sea of kind of unwatchable at times basketball where these games turn into hockey matches, that night these two teams were shot making, shot creating. They were shot creating even against our great defense. They're a damn headache. They have Ole Miss today, Bri?
No, they have Arkansas.
They have Arkansas.
Which could be a very entertaining game if they can have some legs to get them through it. This is their third straight game. But I don't think a team's ever been 1-9 in conference and turn that around into maybe getting an at-large bid. That has to be a rare feat.
Yeah, I don't think
normally a 1-9 team in conference play would have to win their league tournament, but if Oklahoma wins tonight, I think they're in the field, and I think they might be in the field anyway because the bubble's so bad.
Bino, you got a soft spot for Stephen Pearl. You've professed it on here. You putting him in the tournament or Oklahoma if they win today?
Tony, I think you have to put Oklahoma in.
No.
Since and I know Auburn played an extremely difficult schedule. They beat St. John's and they went to Florida and won. So those are obviously feathers in their cap. But since they came here on January 31st, they've lost 9 of 12 games. And 2 of those wins were LSU and Mississippi State.
I have a dilemma, Bino. These published numbers. Do we talk hoops with Hugie, or do we do these fresh published numbers? Because I'm going to tell you what. Give me the highest win total in the SEC, Bino, and who has it? 12-game schedule. Who's got the highest win total in the league?
I'm without seeing team schedules, I'm just going to throw Texas out there.
You're correct. And what's the number?
11.
9.5.
9.5 top number.
Get ready for the beat. That's the top number in the league. Get ready with the 9-game schedule for some meat grinder city. It's going to look like Hoffa in the Meadowlands in the cement mixer, Bino.
Yeah, I failed to factor that in, Tony.
9-game schedule.
Yeah.
Georgia's 9.5. Everybody on Tennessee's schedule, you ready? The teams that we see. LSU 8.5. We're a 6.5, okay? Vandy's a 6.5. Auburn's a 6.5. Who else we have coming in here, Bri? Or on our schedule? Who else? A&M 8.5. Texas 9.5.
LSU's coming in.
LSU's
Alabama.
8.5. Alabama's 8.5. Those are top of the league. 8.5. You got 8.5, 9.5.
How is Alabama 8.5?
I'd sell that. That guy's a flatliner, man. And they're going to run out of money down there. Skarbinski's going to be right. Scarbo knows. Sabino, look, I mean, football drives the thing. Hughie's pH and his blood will change if we bring this up to him. Or we can talk about the Brett Yormark court with the Big 12. What's going on in the Big 10? Stephen L. Pearl with Bruce W. Pearl there at courtside. Some would say making a fool of himself. I say this about Bruce W. Pearl. If you were going to get Tennessee's Mormon basketball program back, you needed that type of psycho on your sidelines and in your locker room. Yep. It was the only way it was going to come back. If you were ever going to get Tennessee baseball from the high school stadium they were playing in to what they're playing in now, to winning a national championship and all that winning along the way, you needed a nut job as head coach. A guy that was about 1 year ago, and I can't even remember the kid's name. Berto is all I remember. But he called me up and cussed me out and said, how come you're not talking about him on your show? It was probably about 13 months ago, thinking about it. To which I replied, you're beating everybody by 100 runs. How are you going to curry favor with anybody, including your fan base, that you need an extra player? Jeez Louise, man. But that's the psycho that was him. Bruce Pearl, early in his days, promised us, hey, you guys do a bus trip to Georgia. We'll do something special for you. We're going to come visit you. Bino, you were there that night. What did Bruce Pearl do that night for the uninitiated?
Right after beating Georgia, and their fans were not happy, he marched his entire squad up into the stands.
Where our bus was.
To greet us.
Where our bus was, yes. And Bino looked at me, and I looked at him, and he said to me, I'll never forget it, this is insane. This is dangerous. This is insane. And I mean the SEC reprimanded them before their bus was home. So, Bino, what do I do on the other side when we bring Hugan in, presented by our friends at Gouffon, Moving and Storage? Spring and summer is here. The time is right. When it's time for your next move, you trust nobody but my friends at Gouffon, Moving and Storage. Bino, what you got? Where are we going here?
I'd start with the football numbers, Tony, and let her roll from there.
Yeah. These football numbers have everybody over here on the Twitter going off, man. Bronny boy, what do you say as producer to the Stars?
Well, go with the football first, and then hopefully don't forget about the basketball.
Don't you forget about me. Little simple mind.
And please leave off the World Baseball talk. I'm sure he'll love that.
Hey, Bri. Two kinds of people in this world. Bino, how about my paisans?
Tony, I'm so happy that Italy marched forward. That's a great story. That's an absolute great story.
And that Pasatino guy, when he looked up and said, "Hey, you're welcome," and told Bobby Witt Jr., "I'll be over to your hotel." You better leave your
watch.
Yeah, you better leave your room. You better leave the room open for me for the party. I like that Mexican team. You talk about punching, not wanting to be there, being star the other night. Gah! We got to ask.
Where's the women's basketball talk when you need it?
We got to ask Hugie. Well, Throaty had a great line. Queen Kimmy's having a hell of a week. She literally has all of her players at practice right now, practicing. She hadn't had a defection this week nor a loss. She's righted the ship, Dr. Danny. Let's go! By the way, a reminder for you. Today, when the game goes final, we'll have you. So Garza Law, Tennessee basketball overtime. Last night we went 2 hours. Tomorrow, if it happens, we're on with you again after the game. Sunday, Willie D. Heflin will be here after the Georgia series. Brian, what's the Georgia game time?
I think it's 1.
Okay, and then we'll be on. I'm just declaring 7 Eastern time is our draw show. 7 Eastern time is our draw show. So we'll be on, breaking it down scientifically. We'll have all our experts in here. And I just talked to Lee a second ago. He'll be on. Mario will be on. Matt will be on. Brian will be on. Bino will jump on with us. It's going to be unbelievable. C is making his return engagement. Eric Waddell will be on. Yep, C's coming out of retirement for Sunday night to nerd out with us. Pretty next level. Kid Nutty shares the following, Bino. My dad and I went to that game in Stegman. I was 11 years old and got C. Lowe's autograph in the stands when they came up. Great memory. My bus trip people, before that happened, were telling me, Tony, you told us he was coming. And like they were kind of turning on me, Bino. Remember that? True story.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're not going to do anything for us, Tony.
Not going to do anything for you. Not going to do anything for you. And all of a sudden...
Don't even know we're here.
Yeah, they don't even know we're here. They won't even acknowledge us. And then we sat down there while Pearl did his post-game show. And we hunged, and we bunged, and we bunged, and we hung. Is that Hugie already there, Brian, or did I call him, or did he call me?
He must have called you because I told him to.
Let's see if that's him. Hugie, is that you?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, Hugie, you've been listening to this nonsense, just us prattling on and on. All right, let's get the potty started. As the great Mike Hugan is in the house, he's presented by our friends at Gufon Moving and Storage. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we do have totals. We do have some football totals to talk about. Before we do that, here's a total. How about 139 years of serving you at Gufon Moving and Storage? How about the only mover to call? How about Pro Mover serving Knoxville, surrounding areas? How about interstate moves? How about residential and commercial? How about corporate moving? You simply cannot be without. How about GufonMovingAndStorage.com online? 139 years. Gufon.com. 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 Check out the link in our blog over at tclub.team. We're 3,000 words strong today. And Hugie, after doing 2.5 hours of radio yesterday, 2 hours on the post-game show last night, and then putting 3,000 words together for a blog, would you call that a prolific day by yours truly, Hugie?
One day.
One day, Hugie. 3,000 words, Hugie. One man, Hugie. One job, Hugie. I had one job, Hugie. Where is Hugie? What's going on with Hugie?
That's not that. That's fine. But the radio talking for that long is difficult, I would think.
Say people don't understand. They think I'm some schlep. You ought to hear the crew I was on with yesterday. You talk about having a backache. And that thing was over. I got this guy, Maury Hanks, in here. Go. I got to carry him around and his 18 listeners. All right, so, and we'll be on with you when today's game's over. Hugie, some win totals just came out. One of the sports books put them out. They're not an advertiser, so I don't give them any love. But Hugie, let's go over some win totals here in football. And then I want to talk to you. Make sure we get reminded to get Stephen L. Pearl in here. Oklahoma's resurgence, and then the activity today down in Nashville. Hugie, if I were to say to you that the highest win-loss total goes to Vegas for the upcoming 2026 season as they publish these numbers, not surprising, right? What's the number, Hugie? His phone's not working. I'm going to have him call me back. Bri, have him call us back. His phone's not working. That'll give me a chance to do this, because when he talks, I can't hear him after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Hugan Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Hugan Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Hugan Moving and Storage are pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Hugan Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistics needs. See more at Hugan.com. That's Hugan.com. Or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Hugan Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day.
Out Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Start the new year with comfort and savings from Pipe Wrench Home Services. Tired of high energy bills and constant heating and AC repairs? Ready for a more efficient home? There's never been a better time to upgrade your comfort and take control of your energy costs. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. A new energy-efficient system means lower bills, fewer breakdowns, and peace of mind for years to come. And with Pipe Wrench Home Services same-day service guarantee, you won't wait to start enjoying a more comfortable home. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Upgrade your HVAC system now with Pipe Wrench Home Services and make no payments until 2027. Schedule your free estimate today at pipewrench.com. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79 lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer and let's make a deal.
Gotta love this time of the year. Hoops here, home runs over there, and you've got to get your Tennessee on. And there's only one place, the best place to shop for your officially licensed Tennessee Volunteer gear, Alumni Hall. Hands down, the best store for Vol fans. They've got the latest and greatest apparel for the entire family. Hats, man cave items, decor, and more. Get your Vols grill cover, a plate for your burgers, and of course, that chef's apron for all that outdoor grilling this spring. And accrue those rewards and watch your balance grow online or on the app. We'll see you at Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com and G to the B to the O, Alumni Hall. And here's Bino, G to the B to the O, and here is King Bino. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, because Mike Hugan in on a Friday can't be beat. Hugie, are you ready for some football totals, yes or no?
Yes.
And in true Hugie fashion, we started to go over it off the air, and he said, Tony, no. Hit it. I want it cold. I want to hear the information. I want to do it. And he's on, by the way, he's for Team Italia in the World Baseball Classic this weekend, Hugie tells me, because there's two types of people in this world, paisans and those that want to be. Hugie, let's start at the very bottom. The team with the lowest win total in the league, Hugie, take a guess at it. Who you got? Snap me a guess here, Hugie. Is this thing happening again, Bri? What are we doing here? Hugie, I'm not hearing you. What happened to Hugie? Bri, are you doing this on purpose? Are you gaslighting me today, Bri?
Is he on his cell or his home?
I don't know what he's doing. I don't produce. I don't know. I'm not producing. One of us is in the education. One of us. Hugie, I'm going to have to reconnect with you. Brian, text him, please, and tell him to get on another phone. Tell him we love him, but we can't hear him. Bino, in your humble opinion, how's this segment going? Lead balloon being the barometer here.
Our total is lead balloon and a half.
I mean, somewhere between the Hindenburg, the Challenger. I mean, where are we right now, Bino?
We'll be fine, Tony. Never let them see you sweat.
Bino,
That's what you told me.
Where were you when the Challenger happened, Bino? Do you remember where you were?
Tony, I believe that I was at Y12. Which means
no cell phones back
I didn't
then.
know much about it when it happened.
Yeah, no cell phones back then. So word traveled however it traveled back then, but it still traveled. I was in a philosophy class studying Kierkegaard. Penn State in a modular building, like in one of those modular setups we used to have in college campuses. I guess we still have modular buildings. I don't know. But I was in a modular building at Penn State, and we spent the rest of the show, talking about that. The rest of the show, the rest of the class, once word filtered in. But let me ask Brian. Brian, what's the latest on Hugie? Do we have a latest?
I'm going to try to get him to call one of the regular phone lines to see if that's better.
Brian, no. Brian, he needs to be on a different line, sweetheart. It's not.
He's not home. He's not home. He's got his cell. That's all he's got.
Hugie,
he's not home.
Let's try this one. Time.
Sorry.
You might need to yell, Hugie, when you get started here, because I'm having trouble getting you down. The pipe seems clogged.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Beautiful. Go for it. Here we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool.
You sound great. Hugie?
Okay,
the lowest.
The lowest, I'm saying it's Arkansas.
Bang. What's the number, Hugie?
3.5.
4.5.
Okay.
Mississippi State, 4.5. All right, Kentucky has a new coach, a new AD, and it's a new day for you, Basha. Shout out to Basha. Shout out to Mitch Barnhart, who is waging war up there with Matt Jones, which probably isn't the smartest thing to do, though Matt Jones is an acquired taste. Their number is 5.5 along with South Carolina. What do you think of those two, Hugie?
I think South Carolina is better than Kentucky. Will Stein looks to have done a nice job in the portal. But he is a first-time head coach. And remember, that's the guy. In 2019, Will Stein was a high school football assistant coach. He never was even a high school head coach. So when you're a first-time head coach in the SEC at a school like Kentucky, I think it's going to be difficult. He made some interesting hires on his staff, good ones, I think. He did some good things in the portal, but I still think if I'm South Carolina, I'm a little bit more confident in my quarterback. I don't think Shane Beamer's a great coach by any stretch, but I think South Carolina can get to a bowl game. I don't think Kentucky can.
Shout him out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. He is the great Mike Hugan, and he's presented by our friends at Gufon Moving and Storage with the greatest of ease, right to left across your device. As we make our way up the poll, next we're at the 6.5 stage, Hugie, and there are 5 teams at 6.5 wins. Bino knows one of them. Panel, can we guess 3 of the 5 teams that are at the 6.5 win total? Hugie, see if you go ahead and guess me which 5 teams you think are at 6.5. Just kind of off the top of your head.
Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
Mizzou.
Mm-hmm. So far, I've got Vandy, Mizzou out of you. Did you give me a third? Did you say Auburn? There he goes again. Bino, what you got there, buddy? Hughie's I'm coming right back to you.
I think you said Auburn, Tony.
Okay. And then who are the other two, Bino?
Well, let's see.
6.5.
We got the Vols. We got Auburn. We got Vandy. We got Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Are there 2 more or
There's
one
Uno
more?
Mas. You've named 4. One more. Brian Hartman, jump in here. Who you got?
Florida.
That's right. Hugie, your thoughts on that? Which surprises you the most? Florida,
Tennessee, one of those?
Tennessee is 6.5, Hugie.
Yeah, okay. I think Florida and Tennessee are going to be more. I think the other ones are right. I'm not a big believer in Missouri without Kirby Moore. Vanderbilt's gigantic mystery. I think that that staff is good, but I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Florida and Tennessee are both going to win more than 6.
If you're an NFL franchise,
I'm more than 6.5. I think they're going to win at least 7.
If you're an NFL franchise and you're a Pavia guy like I am, it's got to really hearten you when he's doing interviews right now as a run-up to his pro career, and he's naming Johnny Manziel as his counsel, who's walking.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's listening to Manziel, who says, "Don't do anything I did. If I did it, don't do it."
Yes.
That's the only way that works.
I mean, if you see white powder and you see a toilet seat, unless you're RFK Jr., stay away from it. Moving along. Ole Miss. I mean, Johnny Manziel. My counsel is Johnny Manziel. Okay. You got
And
it.
with the first pick, the Browns take Pavia.
When Jimmy Haslam, well, never mind. Don't get me started. We could play some of the greatest hits. We'll do that later. All right, Hugie, there are 2 teams up next, one of whom that's had a coaching change in the offseason, and one of whom last year at midseason we thought was going to have a coaching change. They're both at 7.5.
That's got to be Oklahoma and Ole Miss.
There you go. Thoughts on those 2 teams coming in at 7.5, Hugie?
Ole Miss, if Vanderbilt's the biggest mystery, I think Ole Miss is second biggest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Pete Golding is, it was certainly a logical move in some respects,
mm-hmm.
but I think Kiffin took most of his staff with him. I know Chambliss is back, but let's see how that plays out. And one thing, Ole Miss was really good the last 2 years. Ole Miss for most of the preceding 50 was not. So, and I get this is a totally different era. I get that Ole Miss has been willing to spend money, but I also think there is something to the Kiffin, I don't know if you want to call it mystique, but I think Ole Miss is going to take a gigantic step back. I think Oklahoma is going to be solid. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. I think as long as Venables is there, they're going to be good on defense. They have strides to make offensively.
Kiffin's credible.
I think Oklahoma is more likely to exceed 7.5 wins than Ole Miss is, though.
Bino, you agree on that, on its face?
I agree with that. I have no idea what to think about Ole Miss after the regime change.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what I found out early about this exercise, Tony let me guess 2, and I was a win and a half over on both of the totals, and I think basically I'm still thinking with an 8-game conference season mind as opposed to what the SEC now has in place.
And it's about damn time, by the way, that this league meat grinded itself, because this is what we've all been
and it's going to be
waiting for.
interesting to see if the 9-game conference schedule, if there are, how coaches are going to handle it in some respects. Are there going to be more injuries? I don't know necessarily know if that's the case, but I think your schedule is going to be, I think, even more important than ever in terms of how many rummies you have to open the season. Do you have a horrible team somewhere in the middle or near the end? There's a lot of things that play with a 9-game schedule. But I agree. I'm ecstatic that they did it. It's long overdue. And if I'm a fan of any team in the SEC, the idea that I can watch another conference game rather than a game against the FCS team or a bad Sun Belt team, I'm very excited.
Well, that week 11 can go to HE double toothpicks as far as I'm concerned. That was the worst thing, putting us through that all those years. is an absolute and total money grab disgrace, and I stand against it. Moving along. So we've got Oklahoma and Ole Miss both at 7.5. The Vols at 6.5. Bino, there's been a little blanching here on the board over that. Look, this is Las Wages' when they run the numbers. This is their opinion of where things fall when you've got those young quarterbacks, and it just goes to show you that the Vols have some work to do here, Beanstar. I'm all right with it.
They do have some work to do, Tony. And I this time last year, you said you thought that Josh's program was losing altitude, and I blanched at that. It made me mad, to be quite honest. And the season turned out to prove that you were right. And I do think that Josh is now at a really, really critical juncture with all of the changes made on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
With the recruitment of these two quarterbacks that his future's kind of riding on, and arguably the most difficult schedule that we've seen Tennessee play in my time as a fan.
Hugie, I think with those two young quarterbacks, we tied it into the TPC Sawgrass yesterday or a couple days ago and asked, what is a par for Tennessee this year? And we went around the room with the panel, and they said, what, Bri? 8-4, right? Was par? You guys were a game and a half, Bri, off the win total from Vegas.
8-4 to Watson said 9-3.
Yeah, and Watson Brown said 9-3. I'm like, God,
Yeah,
Watson.
that's a difficult par.
I'd say that's a tough putt, Coach. That's what I tell him. That's a tough putt, Coach. But the truth is, when you've got unknown at quarterback like the Vols do, you're a wild card. You're going to be sitting there at 6.5. When you've got unknown at quarterback like Vanderbilt does, a kid playing, and he's probably physically gifted, this kid, this true freshman, or whomever they send out there, you're going to be 6.5 in a league that's got a 9-game schedule, Hugie. It's just the reality of this thing.
Back, there's four teams we haven't talked about yet, and 3 of those 4 have their quarterbacks back.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's having an established veteran quarterback, and the veteran quarterback now is a sophomore who started for a year. So that I think that does give you an advantage unless you got some freakish athlete. And you mentioned Jake Curtis, the kid that's going to be the Vanderbilt quarterback. Had committed to Georgia and was a late switch to Vandy.
Yep.
Nashville kid, did not play. I get the fact that he went to all these camps, all that kind of stuff. At these camps, you're throwing on air. And you're 7-on-7s, you're throwing against guys who aren't in pads. He played for Nashville Christian. As someone who used to live in Nashville, or Nashville area, Nashville Christian does not play a heck of a lot of great opponents. So I think there's going to be always a steep learning curve for freshman quarterbacks. I don't think, freshman running backs, freshman receivers, maybe even freshman corners are different. But, I think Jake Curtis is going to see some things this fall that he has only seen on film. And when you see it in person, you're like, oh, my God, what is this? So the established quarterback aspect cannot be overstated. How important it is. And that sounds sort of like, man, no duh. But I think in this era, you can bring in all the guys you want around that quarterback from the portal. But if your quarterback struggles because he hasn't started before, that's an issue. And Tennessee could have that issue. Vanderbilt certainly could have that issue. Auburn, the quarterback has not started at Auburn before. So all these teams, Missouri is another one. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays
out. No question about it. And here's the thing. One of those guys could be a revelation. When you've got inexperienced quarterbacks, you're going to get 6.5 next to your name. Now, as a UT fan, hey, that's great value. If you think 8-4, like Brian, if 8-4 is a par, I take my mortgage, okay? Maybe my very existence embedded on that, Bri, right? Is that where you're going? Are you fixing to cash in, Bri, a big ticket?
No, all bets are off with me.
You don't know.
There's too much unknown. That's too much
exactly
unknown.
Right. That's what's great. I'll tell you what, guys. This modern college football thing, and we got all summer to talk about this, but I'm going to tell you what has been absolute popcorn fart of all time, and that's this damn commission thing that they're doing, because the big leagues haven't even signed the paperwork on it. They're complaining. There was a story like in The Athletic or somewhere at On3 or somewhere about how these guys aren't even adhering to any rules. We couldn't enforce. I mean, there are so many violators and there's so many like inner third party deals, and this isn't what they told us they were going to do. And then you got this thing up here with the Big Ten right now, where the Big Ten's telling the NCAA, stay the hell out of our league. Don't come investigating us. You don't have any grounds. It's like they say one thing, Hugie, they want another, but we're literally in a period of total anarchy. Pick up football is what we're doing. Like in Florida, Hugie, you got like 8 new offensive linemen, 8 new Auburn yesterday. We had an Auburn guest. 8 new offensive linemen, 8 new defensive linemen they brought in. Pick up football.
Yeah, and that's spring practice is actually important again, and it's the overused cliche wild west what it is. And we were talking off the air about how there's these set of rules allegedly, and then let's do this, nothing can happen, and now they're like 50 miles from those sets of rules in the sand because nobody's doing anything to stop them. So if I do this, it's probably illegal, but who's going to tell me it's illegal? So we're doing it. And that's everybody wants to blame the NCAA for all the problems. Yes, the NCAA obviously bears part of the blame. It's the schools themselves that the Big Ten Conference told the NCAA these investigations are ridiculous because you can't enforce them. That's the Big Ten Conference, which arguably is the most powerful league in the nation. It's 1 or 1A with the SEC, obviously. It's like if Sankey said, you know something, the NCAA wants to crack down on these rules breakers. They need to go away because they can't enforce any of this stuff, so we're going to keep doing all of it. And you're right. On the one hand, you have commissioners and coaches saying this has to stop.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the same day, these commissioners and coaches are breaking the rules. What they want is a way that they can control the players like they used to. That's the bottom line. And there's still people who are upset that players are getting paid exorbitant amounts of money. So the idea that this kid can leave my school and go make $500,000 more, that's bothersome to me. We need to stop that. But the same coach does the exact same thing. I'm going to take this other job for $3 million more a year, even though my team's on the way to the playoff.
Hugie, you know tons of people. You've been at it 40 years. Truth be told, okay? True or false? In about 5 weeks, when spring practice, or 6 weeks, 7 weeks, let's say 7 weeks, when spring practice is over, and a lot of these coaches see the needs they have after they evaluate what they've signed and brought in, do they raid other teams' rosters with blind transfers? Yes or no?
Questionably. It's illegal, but
they're going
no one's going to stop them.
That's exactly
right.
So
if LSU decides, you know something, we need an edge rusher, they're going to get an edge rusher.
And they're going to be one of the great violators.
Says we need a backup center, they're going to get a backup center.
Yep.
If Michigan needs a second-string tight end, they're going to get a second-string tight end. So all this stuff, it's not going away.
And some of these goofs in the media that think this stuff is real and really believe in that commission, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But I hope you keep your Easter basket warm because you're going to have some chocolate in it. Hopefully mine will have some Peeps. Bino, are you a Peeps guy, yes or no? America is waiting.
I am not, Tony. I'm not a marshmallow candy guy.
That sounds about like you. You borderline like no soul when it comes to candy. How about you, Hughie? You a Peeps guy?
Peeps are a pox on the human race.
Yes! Brian, I think you and I are the only Peeps guys in here. We're Peeps.
Actually,
Peeps.
speak for yourself because I don't peep. No peeps for me.
Moving along. Alabama joins two other teams with 8.5 wins, Hughie. So we've got, just to hit the reset button here, Mizzou, Auburn,
Texas
Vandy, and Florida all at 6.5. Ole Miss 7.5. Oklahoma 7.5. Alabama, LSU, and whom, Hughie? At 8.5. Texas A&M, that's right. Which of those three teams would you buy to move up one slot, Hughie? If you had to play one that wins 9, which of those three you going with? Who you got?
Texas A&M.
Why?
The Alabama quarterback situation. I think Kalen DeBoer's a really good coach, but I don't know if he has a quarterback that can do what he needs. LSU, talk about whole new teams. That's a whole new team. Counting a lot on Sam Levitt, who's been hurt. I think Texas A&M is sort of got its head down, not getting the off-season attention that Texas is and other teams in the league. I think Marcel Reed is limited.
Yes.
Limits the ceiling. But I think that Elko will put a good defense on the field. I think A&M will be a more physical team this year.
Elko's a hell of a coach, man. And then you got Texas and Georgia at 9.5. Hughie, how surprised are you against the 9-game schedule that nobody has the 10 mark? Or is that just the ultimate sign from Vegas that this league is balanced and is going to be a meat grinder from top to bottom?
But, there's going to be a team that wins 10. Because if it doesn't, can you imagine the outcry? 9-3. How many teams does the SEC think it deserves in the playoff if they're all 9-3? So I think there's going to be a handful of teams that are 10-2. I think I believe in Georgia more than I believe in Texas. I think Arch Manning is got a much higher ceiling than Gunnar Stockton. But Stockton surprised me last year with how well he played. Georgia's defense is going to be really good at linebacker. Their offensive line is being rebuilt. They got a new offensive line coach. That gives me a little bit of pause. But they went into the portal, got spotlighted some positions that they thought needed fixing. They went out and think they fixed it like they did last year with a couple guys, most notably Zachariah Branch.
Yep.
The running back situation, I think, at Georgia's good. I think Nate Frazier's good. I trust, Texas last year, their offensive line was horrendous. They lost Trey Wisner. They bring in Hollywood Smothers from NC State. Let's see how good he is at running back. I know, oh my God, they spent all this money on Cam Coleman. Cam Coleman, they're paying him like he's Jeremiah Smith. That dude ain't close to Jeremiah Smith.
The man's speaking the truth. The man's dropping knowledge, being there right on top of it. He's hit some hoops. By the way, as a postscript to our conversation, VD, Vandy Dandy, reminds us, we call him VD for short, Hughie, of course, in love. 6 teams in the SEC went 10-2 or 11-1 last season. I will sell that against a 9-game schedule. That ain't happening. That will not happen this year. There's a lot of balance in the middle of that league. And Tennessee's one of them. Tennessee's one that could play some spoiler or, hey, depends on how good GMAC is. If GMAC's a player, you never know.
So the league in the middle is the reason that it's going to be a grinder of a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Playing a Tennessee, playing a Oklahoma, playing an Ole Miss,
mm-hmm.
which is 7.5, is a little bit more difficult than playing a Iowa or a Minnesota. or Michigan State, something like that. So the top of the Big Ten is going to be quite good again.
Yep.
But I think the middle of the SEC is better than the middle of the Big Ten.
It's time for our Mover of the Week, presented by Gufan Moving and Storage. And then, as Hugie is, and then we're going to, what are we going to do? Talk to me here. Oh, that's right. We're going to talk a little hoops with Hugie. That's right. Yeah, hey, everybody relax. We got a big game this afternoon. Hugie's dialed in. Hugie's got
Mover of the Week,
box
Oklahoma. Oklahoma basketball. They put themselves squarely on the bubble. They've won 6 in a row, 8 of 10. The Vols crushed them in Knoxville in mid-February. Then they turned around and almost beat Texas A&M. And since that, they've blown through Auburn, Missouri, and Texas. The Auburn, Missouri, and Texas, those are teams all in the bubble like Oklahoma. They also beat Texas A&M bad yesterday. They got Arkansas today. If they beat Arkansas today, I think they're in the NCAA tournament. So Porter Moser has gone from that dude's fired, get him out of here, to, oh, wow, it's interesting. But I still think they got to win today to get in. And the flip side of them is Texas. They have fallen apart. They've lost 3 in a row and 5 of 6. Mm-hmm. They got crushed by Florida. They got crushed by Arkansas. They lost to Georgia by 11. They lost to Ole Miss in their first SEC tournament game. Texas is barely hanging on. So it's interesting, Oklahoma and Texas. Oklahoma on the up, Texas on the down, and I think Oklahoma could take Texas's bid if they beat Arkansas today.
Shout out Taylor Gufan, 5 generations. So Hugie's got some moving going on. Oklahoma's moving up. Texas might be moving out. I got to ask him about Stephen L. Pearl. Secure Vaulted Storage, newest offering, commercial storage logistics. They do all your receiving. They do your storage. They do the delivery services for your business logistic needs. Go to the website and see more or reach out to Taylor. And I want to shout out Tom Gufan, guitar slinger extraordinaire. Hugie, what about Stephen L. Pearl in Auburn yesterday? Bruce went viral, making an absolute, shall we say, ass of himself on the floor. Not allowed to say that. Talk to me. Your thoughts on them. Are they in or out?
12. They finished 11th in the league.
11th in the league, Bino. Are they getting them, Bino, 11th in the league? They haven't won a game in like a month and a half, Bino. You putting them in? Just because you've got some sentimental thing for Stephen Pearl?
I'm not putting them in, Tony.
Bino's got some kind of sentimental tie all of a sudden. He's like, his heart is melted towards Stephen Pearl. Can you imagine that, Hugie?
The idea that Auburn had the assistant coach at the ASUN tournament, I'm sure other schools did that as well.
Yep.
But the Queens coach, the team that won the league, said that Auburn had an assistant on the floor talking to his players before and after the game.
Yes.
That, and then Pearl, that was brought up to Pearl, that's permissible, he said.
That's right.
And that's the thing that, if maybe I'm old and naive, but that's the kind of thing that ticks folks off. The blatant, okay, maybe it is permissible. It's probably it's permissible to be at the game, but don't sit there and say, "Oh, it's fine." The fact that he talked to players from another team before the game, that was just, he didn't say, "Oh, that's just normal." They were just probably chatting. No, they weren't. He was saying, "I'm from Auburn. We're interested in you."
Yes,
let's get serious here. And that's why it's hard to take anything any of these coaches says seriously.
Or the administrators. Or the administrator. How about this?
Right.
Maury Hanks yesterday told me, Super Scout to the Stars, who's on with us, post-game. By the way, let me do this legal. I'm going to keep us legal here.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
This is a new thing now. You identify a player, and you get picked apart like a carcass for it. Maury told me yesterday that he's hearing that in the mid-major rank, because he puts global sports. He puts tournaments together all over the world, okay? He's got one down in Florida, but he puts these, one-off matchups together, wherever. Caitlin Clark played something. They did something up in Iowa City with her. He's done things all over the world. Anyway, he said the new thing now, in light of the Stephen Pearl thing that came out, he said, oh, yeah. These teams are now sending, because they've got such metastasized at the Division I rosters of coaches. When you look behind the bench, and you look over there, Hugie, and there's like 19 people behind the bench. He said they're sending 2 or 3 out during the week, and they're scouting mid-major games. Literally scouting the games, Hugie, because they're going to pick these players off these rosters. With their logo on. With their logo on, like you're watching a high school game. So the kid sees, hey, Tennessee, Jacoby Gillespie. Tennessee's interested in me. Look at that. Whoa.
Tony, you and Hughie have already said that the Pharisees up there in the Big Ten have said, hey, don't bother us with these rules. So just rip Leviticus and Deuteronomy out of that NCAA rule book and let's go.
See, that's the truth, isn't it, Hughie? When the Big Ten is saying to the NCAA, and that is published, get out my face, we've crossed the Rubicon, Hughie, haven't we?
Yeah, and you also had Sankey saying maybe it's time for the SEC to just do its own rules and leave. It's the same principle because again, Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey will say one thing, and then everybody in their league does exactly the opposite.
That's exactly right.
So again, it's and you got coaches bemoaning all the tamper. It's because the coaches are doing it themselves, and that's why it's hard to blame Yes, you can blame the NCAA's lack of guardrails is problematic, but if a coach complains about something, that means the other team is doing it better than the coach who's complaining. That's what it's come down to. If one coach says, I meant Power 4. I don't mean Queens because, Queens ain't tampering with anybody.
That's right.
But you mentioned the logo. That was the old days. You could go cover a high school football game like I did in the late 1980s, and you would see assistant coaches from schools on the sideline wearing an FSU jacket or a Florida shirt or a Miami pullover back then, and to be seen by the player. And now it's the exact same principle, except the players that they want they want the players who are in college to see them because you look through all the analytics, you find, hey, how good really is this kid, and you go watch him play. And there was a story in the Athletic about, it was football related, but I'm sure basketball is the same thing. As soon as the portal opened, every coach basically said, if you wait to do any scouting before the portal's open, you've screwed yourself.
No
You're
honor
done.
among thieves.
History.
No
You're
honor.
not getting a kid.
No honor among
you
thieves.
have to have all the groundwork done before the portal even opens.
And that's one of the things about our football staff that drives me, because our basketball staff is on it. Like they're on it. They're on it. But don't get me started. Okay, so today I want to go through the matchups, and then we will bid you adieu. Hughie, you have been a gentleman and a scholar, and putting up with Bino and Brian's inanity. You've done a great job with that as well. A little bit of technical difficulty on the front end, but you know what? What's a little technical difficulty among friends? Kentucky today opens the curtain. It is a ball game against Florida, a 9-1 matchup. Kentucky played Florida pretty well last time out. Does that portend of things to come, or will Peeping Todd and the Gators march on, in your opinion?
Twice, Kentucky, and I don't think Florida really wants to see Kentucky again. They have problems stopping Oweh. The last game, Oweh went off, but Chandler did nothing. The battle on the boards against Kentucky has been relatively even for Florida, and that's an extreme rarity. Florida is the better team. Kentucky will be playing for the third day in a row. I think that will play into it. I think Florida. I think Golden does not like Pope for whatever reason. And I think Florida's players still are ticked off that Denzel Aberdeen left to go to UK. I think Florida wins, but I think it will be an interesting game at least for a while.
A lot of bad blood in that deal. All right.
Yes, there is.
In the second game, game 10 on the schedule, the red-hot Tennessee Volunteers, and Hugie made a great point. You know why nearly half of the NBA is tanking? Because a guy like Nate Ament is projected to be a 10th pick in that draft. Again, I hate to keep quoting Maury like he's Mao Zedong, but he told us yesterday that Nate Ament's a second or third pick in the draft in most drafts. This year's draft happens to be so deep. The guy had a magic wand in his hand in the last 10 minutes of that game yesterday. The guy could do anything he wanted on the floor, wherever he wanted, and to whomever he wanted. There were no answers for Stephen L. Pearl. Even his father couldn't stop Nate Ament. Hugie, does Nate Ament power the Vols through, or did Tennessee do what they wanted to do? They got him some cardio and some work, and it's time to get home. What do you think?
Yeah, that's, and I think, frankly, all the top four seeds are the same. They're in. They just don't want anybody to get hurt, but you still go out there to play for a reason.
Yep.
Vanderbilt beat them, what was that, 6 days ago?
Yes.
I think Tennessee's front court will wake up today. I think Tennessee beats Vanderbilt.
Bino, do you concur? Because we will unpack that as the hour unfolds.
I think those two teams are really even. I think Vandy's much better at guard than we are. I think we're much better in the front court, as Mike said, than they are. I guess it comes down to what type of game it is and who can use their strengths to the greatest advantage.
Very quietly, Ole Miss has a really high payroll, which isn't really known, but they've got a really high payroll. They've been a big spender this year for Andy Kennedy. He's doing his best to get out of there. By the way, Casey Alexander, hired by Kansas State today, very intriguing hire. He's a hell of a coach. That guy develops players. I'm going to tell you that right now. That guy knows what he's doing. I wouldn't sleep on him at Kansas State in a great basketball league. Casey, we've had him on several times. I respect him. I think he knows what he's doing. Ole Miss, the 15 seed, is the breakout star of the tourney. If it's not Oklahoma, they get number 2 Alabama, who's got this combustible nature to them. Can Ole Miss put them in a blender today, Hugie? What do you think?
They were lucky. I think they've been a little bit lucky. They got a discombobulated Texas team in the first round, and then the second round they played a team coached by Mike White, that's like stealing. And I know Georgia's going to the NCAA tournament, but Mike White will be the lesser coach in any single game Georgia plays. That's not going to be the case today with Nate Oates. I think Chris Beard has Ole Miss playing extremely hard. And maybe Chris Beard can come up with a way to run Alabama off the 3-point line and get nasty and get physical with Alabama, but I think Alabama wins this by double digits.
Unbelievable, Andy. And moving along, closing out tonight, the 9:30 session, Brian Hartman will be popping popcorn, and there will be some hot chocolate flowing at the Hartman residence. Number 11, Oklahoma. Can they continue this magical run into the semifinals? They win tonight, they might punch their ticket on through, and Jimmy Dykes will then declare that there are 15 teams in this league that are worthy of playing in the tournament. Jimmy Dykes missed he ought to be the minister of propaganda over in Iran right now. He'd tell you that Iran's got the dub. They're taking the dub. Jimmy Dykes is an absolute sheep, Hugie. Are you a Dykes fan?
Season games, but then as the season goes on, he is a SEC homer. He knows the game. He's been a coach for men and women. But I think I'll be honest, the whole SEC network goes a little bit over the top when it comes to how great the SEC is.
Lenardi's even doing it now. Lenardi's out there being performative. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and the AJC wrote a story the other day. It was quoting Peter Burns about how Georgia can make a run in the NCAA tournament, and I'm thinking, oh, okay. But Oklahoma, there's a lot of Oklahoma has to win. I mentioned earlier Auburn finished 11th in the league. Well, so did Oklahoma. The difference is Oklahoma's playing well and actually has some good wins late. That's not supposed to matter, but it does. If Oklahoma beats Arkansas, I think Oklahoma's in. Arkansas, Acuff is awesome. That's another guy you mentioned about. Nate Amon in a normal year would be like a third pick.
Yep.
This draft is exceedingly deep. I think you could legit go 11 or 12 deep with guys who could be stars in the NBA. Acuff on the right team certainly can be a star, very physical guard. Oklahoma is locked in defensively. They're not as talented as Arkansas. I think Arkansas ends their Cinderella run. But, I think everybody in the SEC would not mind if Arkansas lost because I don't think John Calipari has any fans outside of the ones who live in the state of Arkansas.
You talk about a guy that is a whiny, Yankee, garlic-breathed Italian. Just a whiny, Yankee, garlic breath. Can you say all those things, Hugie? Is that politically incorrect, or can you say those things on the air?
But just because I don't say them, don't mean I don't agree with you. But Calipari, Calipari, his appeal. I mean, Acuff is the ultimate Calipari player.
Yep.
Extremely talented and has a ton of freedom. I think guys like playing for John Calipari. He lets you play through your mistakes for the most part.
Yep.
Maybe he's not as detail-oriented as some other coaches.
Yep.
But I think Darius Acuff made a great decision. He's a Detroit kid. I don't see him getting that kind of freedom in Michigan State or Michigan, for instance. And Arkansas is, he's making nice NIL money at Arkansas.
Yep.
He certainly has shown he's a top 10 pick. And Acuff is the reason Arkansas could win this league tournament. I don't think they will because Arkansas could lose tonight, but I think Arkansas does beat Oklahoma.
Hugie, you're the man. I love you. I appreciate you. How fired up, folks, and prepared are you right now for the World Baseball Classic this weekend? How much bandwidth do you have for that? Thank you, Hugo.
All my bandwidth is college basketball right now.
Man.
Baseball doesn't start for me until like the second week of April because that's when the NCAA tournament's over.
I want you on our baseball podcast celebration special we're going to have. I'll get in touch with you. We're going to bring on a bunch of different people and just sit around and chat about the game and why it means so much to us. Bino's going to hang out. And I love you. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. He's awesome. Presented by our friends at Gufan Moving and Storage. His phone works half the time. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, Bri. We got issues with this dude. Yeah.
St. Louis is getting run off the floor by George Washington, so there's another potential bid stealer out there.
No shirts.
If GW hangs on. It's 36-19, George Washington.
Oh, no shirts, no skins. Mike Jarvis in the house. No shirts, no skins. All right, when we come back on the other side, we're going to do some Tennessee multiple choice. Tennessee multiple choice for Bino. And Brian and you. One question for Tennessee multiple choice. When it comes to today's game, I want to see the Vols get the W. I want to see the Vols get home. That's the first question. Second question. I am worried about Jacoby Gillespie going into March because the guy had made a 3-ball in like 100 years. I don't know what to tell you. He's like 4 for 45. Third question. This Tennessee team, after watching Nate Ament in full bloom yesterday, is ready for a run for the ages in the NCAA tournament. Fourth question. Stephen L. Pearl will be dancing in the NIT. And then some more stuff. We'll get to it. It's all ahead. That was next level with Hugie, and we got to get a timeout in after this.
It's the hottest postgame show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols.
Yeehaw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Achillio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's national award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com. Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and as always, go Vols.
TB back with you. Brian Hartman's fired up, focused, and prepared. The goal for the Vols, I want to get in Duke's region. I want to, if you're going to make me a 4 or 5, if we win today, or if we're a 4 or 5 anyway, I want to get in Duke's region. And I want to play them up in that BWI corridor for the rights to advance the Elite Eight. I'm calling the shot, the Vols and them in Baltimore, Brian. Or is it Washington?
Or it's Washington.
Washington or Baltimore.
I think it's Washington, D.C.
And Brian and Bino, that gives you a chance to tell us your story, the Baltimore story. What is it?
Yeah, when I was running the health and safety training program for the late great Pison, we would have instructors come down from like New York, and they would add R's to words like banana. And then my New Jersey guy that was with him would always say, there's no R in that word, pal.
Well, you got some people that like to say Missouri when it's obviously Missouri, right? Like people from Missouri say that, don't they, guys? Don't they say Missouri? Some people from Missouri?
I've heard Missouri, yes. And Cincinnati is
strange.
another one. Cincinnati.
In the South, we take letters away to make it easier. Nobody pronounces a G at the end of a word, those kind of things. We don't add them.
All right, let's take the quiz. And let's make up some questions for the quiz as we go here, too. They're my favorite kinds of quiz. All politics are local. Let's start with our Tennessee Volunteers. Let's start with today. Let's do it right now. And let's go hard. Today, Tennessee Volunteers win, lose, draw. Bino, what you got?
Tennessee's going to win today, and I hope they win. I don't want to lose to Vanderbilt in anything, anytime, anywhere.
VD, you might be in trouble. Brian Hartman, Tennessee today, they win, they lose, or they draw. Your choices.
They're not going to lose to Vandy for the second time in 6 days, so they're winning.
And the line, Bri, is?
I saw Vandy had moved to a half-point favorite on VIP play.
Yeah, the line is, that's kind of funny. That's the line.
It's flipped around. It's right. I'll just say pick 'em.
That's a pretty funny line.
Conversation.
That's a pretty funny line. Vandy going off as a favorite today is a pretty funny line. Because Nate Ament might make this his invitational this weekend if he feels like it. And everybody else, you just kind of get out of the way. Bino, how many players in your lifetime have you seen that were capable, before we get back to our quiz, because I'm going to tie it into our next question, that was capable of doing what Nate Ament did yesterday? Let's list those people. Bernard King was capable of that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ernie was capable of that.
Ernie was capable of that.
Dale Ellis was capable of that.
Okay.
Allen Houston was capable of that.
Yes. These are all NBA greats now we're talking about here. And in the case of the great Ernie.
Lofton could do it in a different way.
Yes.
Tony White could do it.
Tony White, yep.
Josh Richardson kind of did it for a few games.
Yes, Josh Richardson did it in the tournament. My favorite thing about Ament yesterday, and Matt pointed this out in the Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime, which will be with you when today's game ends. He was basically saying, get out of my face to his teammates. I want the ball. I'm carrying us. The rest of you blow. The rest of you can't play offense. And I'm going to will us to the next round. That's what I saw yesterday, Bino. Because we had a team yesterday that could not throw it in the ocean. Our two guards couldn't make a shot. I give Gillespie, who will come up here in a second in our survey, a lot of credit for stop shooting, which isn't really a good sign that he wasn't looking for the three ball, but they did double him yesterday. They did take him away, but man, he's in a Funko Cold Medina, man. Funko Cold Medina right now. All right, here's our next question, Beanstar. Gillespie, I'm sorry. Ament goes for 30 today.
I'm going to say he does not get 30 today, Tony.
Okay.
I'm toward the end of the game yesterday, you could tell that those few games off and away from practice have kind of hindered him a little bit from a cardio standpoint, it looks like to me. So I'm going to say that the second game back-to-back here, he's not quite as good as he was yesterday.
By the way, shout out to Sam Schrock in the Music City, who will be there today, who said that his information is that Todd Golden's favorite candy is Peeps.
Peeps. Absolutely. Peeps. The game's brought to you by Peeps today. Tony, if some pet band somewhere when he's on the road hasn't played I'm a Girl Watcher by the occasions, I don't know what to think about the youth of America today. Except maybe they don't know that song.
Bino. It's so good. I mean, I'm going to do my Todd Golden imitation right now here on the show. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, mark the tape. You can go back at this point and watch it. Bino, you might want to pop over and just kind of gander at it and see what you think. But as best I can, this is my Todd Golden imitation. I find him to be equal parts creepy because he looks 12. He acts 14, apparently. He is a great basketball coach who does a great job of identifying what they need for the roster. He's probably the best in the league right now. Yeah.
Yes.
But he's watching you. Woo, woo. And by the way, he's a girl watcher. He's a girl watcher. Watching girls go by. My. Moving along. I will stay in Peeping Todd form for the duration of this survey. And the next question is Jacoby Gillespie from his last 43 balls, Bino, has made how many? What's your guess?
4.
7 out of 40, Bino. What's that percentage, Bri? What's 7 out of 40?
That's, I think, less than 20%. Because
Bino, Jacoby Gillespie has an injury that they're not telling us about. Yes or no? Where are you on that? Or he's just in a funk. He's caught in a trap, and he can't look back, Bino. What do you think?
I think he's just in a shooting funk, Tony. I'm obviously concerned about that. He has to shoot it much better for us to have any chance to advance in the NCAA tournament. I am encouraged by the other areas of his game. I think he's running the team better now than he has at any point. He's shooting free throws good at the end of the games. He's protecting the ball. He's doing everything else better. He's just not shooting from beyond the arc very well.
I kind of agree with that, Bino. All right, let's get down to the Stephen L. Pearl portion. Bino, in your humble opinion, Stephen L. Pearl is in the NIT, yes or no, Bean Star?
Yes, Tony. They're not in the NCAA tournament field.
Do you feel worried, yes or no, for Stephen L. Pearl after yesterday?
No, I'm not worried about Stephen. I'm not pulling against Stephen the way that I thought that I would. But
I agree with that.
I am not worried about him.
I kind of feel for him. When I see Bruce down there behaving the way that he is, that is a very odd thing. That's not Bruce treating his son like, and I'm not talking about a parent, a kid, but it's almost like Bruce is like overcompensating or something, Bino. He wants it to happen so badly for that kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, he's never suspended his fatherhood when it came to that, Tony, which I guess is a good thing.
He should.
Moving along.
I'm surprised that no one's come up with Stephen Stool for a name in the YouTube chat box, because Stephen Pearl was sitting on a stool. I don't know if anybody caught on to that.
Oh, I thought you I thought you were coming with a proctological bent on that, Brian, if we can.
You got Dooley sitting on a stool, and now you have Stephen on a stool.
While we're there, whoever G-Max Tapeworm is,
yes.
Kudos to you.
G-Max Tapeworm is a total illiterate.
Has to be the same guy that's Puerto Rican Willie Stargell.
Every team today that's playing in the SEC tournament, Brian, in Nashville, is in the NCAA tournament. Every team, Bri, look at it. Look at it, Bri.
Well, except Ole Miss. They have to win out. But Oklahoma's now in the last four in. I think they're actually in the regular part of the bracket. They've got Missouri and Texas in Dayton. A note on Ole Miss, they had won one game coming in out of their last 13 to Nashville, and they've won 2 games where they have not trailed for 1 second. They did not trail for 1 second against Texas, and then the next night against Georgia last night, they did not trail for 1 second. My bet is they will trail pretty quickly tonight.
Bino, Jeff Henderson, Buckyball, is Kim Caldwell basketball in men's hoop form after last night? Because I'm going to tell you what happened last night. I had eyes on it. They were pressing last night after missed shots, and it was a layup line at the other end. Brian, how many did Oklahoma end up going for last night? What was the final?
Because they won by, I think, 83-60. They won by 20. It was 83-60.
I mean, God.
A&M they were never in that game.
I mean 83 points. What are peeping? I'm with Todd. Peeps are great. Brian, Bino, who wins the tournament? Final thought. Pick any of the 8 teams on the board right now. Who wins the tournament, Brian? From here. Or the Kentucky Wildcats.
Call me crazy.
Go ahead.
I think Arkansas is going to beat Florida in the championship game.
I don't doubt that that's possible.
Now, Arkansas got really run when they played in Gainesville. That was not a good look for them. But
yes,
I just think the A-Cuff's going to get on a heater.
Bino, Buckyball is Kim Caldwell basketball, yes or no? Because that thing,
yes.
When they figured him out, Bino, they crashed and burned. You talk about going up. They went up and they went out.
Not to that extent, Tony, but I think Bruce found out pretty quick that you cannot play that style in this league over a long period of time and be successful.
And you know what, Bino? That was 20 years ago, before the league got all this NBA timber in it.
Yeah.
Now this league has all these, like LeBaron Philon, all these teams that aspire to play up here in the sport have one of those guys, including Tennessee. And the thing is, when I have that guy on the floor, I get him that ball in transition. You're not stopping him. We get the ball to Gillespie going downhill. You're not stopping him. And I agree with Bino. Gillespie only shot, what did he shoot, Bri? 4 3 balls yesterday? Made one of them.
He was 0 for 2.
Or 0 for 2, I'm sorry. Look, if you're being defended like you were yesterday, set everybody else up. And if you look at the way he's played within himself. And as I told him when we did our program on Monday together, my belief on Jacoby Gillespie is that the body language he plays with, he's a very team-oriented player. There have been times this year where he really could have called his number more. But he's gone out of his way. He's really kind of grown Nate Ament this year. And I believe that, Bino. I believe he's had a hand in growing Nate Ament this season.
Yeah, I believe that too.
And he told me, he said one of the keys for growing these young guys is you got to tell them not to listen to Barnes. He said he'll sit over there and go off, and I'll walk over and go, hey, you don't pay attention to that. But here's what he means. He said we have to kind of, and that's what Grant Williams had to do. You got to work around the guy. That's a veteran's job in that deal when you got Barnes out there. Because Barnes is a maniac.
Well, I think even Ament said it yesterday in the postgame show when they had him with Ron Slay and the crew from the SEC Network. He basically just said, hey, you have to listen to what he says and not how he says it.
Yes. Coastal Vol, so far with the Copper Card comment of the hour over on YouTube. We do award a Copper Card earlier in the show. Sam Schrock won for his Peeps line about Todd Golden. Peeps is his favorite candy. That's pretty good, Beanstar. You got to admit.
Yes, it's outstanding.
Coastal Vol says the glare after the box removal from Basilio, because I did that segment when we did the little quiz we just took. I had a banker box on my head with the slits cut out of it, and I was doing my best Todd Golden when he's over near the Pan-Atlantic area, over near the sororities when he's out scouting. Bino, true or false, we believe the Todd Golden story from a year ago that's been swept under the rug? Yes or no? Do we believe it?
There was an awful lot out there, Tony, for it just to be something made up.
Mm-hmm. And I never saw his lawsuit to the school paper, so maybe I must have missed that one. All right, we'll go to the phones. We've got a lot to talk about today. Very little time to get there. If you want to get in, 865-200-5402. Bino, in your humble opinion, do we do like 40 minutes of overtime like we did yesterday and then 2 more hours of postgame, or do we save ourselves? What do we do here?
Tony, I'm planning on leaving no later than 1:30, and you guys just do whatever you need to do.
That's pretty ignorant.
Well,
Bri, your thoughts on today's show when they're kind of content heavy and guest heavy, and we stay out of the calls, Bri. What do you think of today's show? Have we failed the listeners today, Brian? Your humble opinion before we go back to the phones.
Yeah, we need to take at least 2 or 3 calls before the show ends at 1.
I only have one on hold, so let's see what we have. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
I mean, W. Lynn, these guys have yapped and yapped and yapped. It's embarrassing, in my opinion.
I've thoroughly enjoyed the show, Tony. It's
embarrassing.
I try to tell people, you're going to get the best information within 150 miles on this show.
And laugh and giggle.
You're going to laugh and giggle. It's going to get you in a good mood.
No.
And I'm with the guy that called in yesterday that's got a sick son. God bless him. It helps me laugh for the rest of the day.
Amen, brother. I sit there and laugh at some of the stuff that we do, and no question.
I love it.
No question. We have some characters, man. We attract, and I always have. Bino off the air will call me a moron magnet, and he's right. I just have this way of attracting these people.
That stuff you're reading on the chat board, something I'm not into yet, it's hilarious.
Oh, my gosh.
Who in the world is W. Lynn's breath?
They love you, W. Lynn, on here. They celebrate you like you can't even believe.
I never. Who is W. Lynn's breath?
Here you go. Here's the new entrant. Basilio's Beak has spoken for the first time, and Basilio's Beak says, "Great first caller. W. Lynn is the GOAT."
Thank you, whoever. Tony, I guess us in the Big Ten are saying secession is our motto again. We're just going to take our ball and go out.
The Big Ten's literally telling the NCAA. Apparently, the NCAA's got one Big Ten team dead to rights. Who knows what it is? But they're telling them, no, you're not welcome here. We don't want to hear what you found. We don't want to hear what you have.
Yeah.
It's pretty next level, W. Lynn.
It really is.
Yes. Coach Majors would have loved to have seen this, wouldn't he? Wouldn't Coach Majors have loved to have seen this era? The way the NCAA's just been rendered useless.
He would have laughed, I think. But I'm with you. I want some of Duke. I want to go to Greenville, South Carolina, and play Duke. I don't care what happens. I'm ready. So I told people yesterday we're watching the game, and it was a mixed bag. Oh, we don't need to worry about the game. But I think the group I was with, we got mad with the team and decided to heck with these guys. Let's just go ahead and win this game. And
yep.
We compared it to baseball yesterday. I don't know who brought that up. It might have been Brian.
I'll tell you this, W. Lynn, it's like this. Matt Dixon said it yesterday. The have teams in all these games get in a spot where they're like, we really don't need to be here. We've had a long season. But there becomes a part of the game where you just get kind of urinated off. Yeah. And that happened to Tennessee with about 11 minutes to go yesterday. They're like, you know what? We're out here in our uniforms. I know we got to play again tomorrow if we win, and it'd be nice to get back to Knoxville. But they just got kind of pissed off, W. Lynn, and it was funny, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and one thing, they let us play in the second half, but in the first half, Gillespie went in for a layup, and somebody had a flying body foul that knocked him out of bounds, and they called the ball out of bounds on us. Do you remember that?
No question.
And my friends were saying, they're looking at it as a flagrant foul. I said, no, there was no foul called. And sure enough, all they were reviewing was, and that guy flew. I know they don't call body fouls all the time, but he flew into him and knocked him out into the cheerleaders.
We got, and W. Lynn, thank you, incredible call by you, by which all others be judged the rest of the show. We got an incredible whistle in the second half. And that's why Pearl snapped on the sidelines. They let us punch, grab, hold, kick, fold, hook and hold, push and roan. They let us get away with everything, which is the essence of officiating in this league, Bino, because it will not be consistent from 1 minute to the next. So why should it be in the tournament? But we got away with. We just got allowed to do whatever we do. When they called. Okay, that retaliation on Auburn yesterday, that thing that Akpara did with 75 seconds in that game was about as Tennessee basketball 2025, 2026 as you can get. The game's over. There's 75 seconds left. The only way you're going to let these guys back in it is to let this guy get under your skin and you push him in the head like he did. Hey, Bino, they're stupid on a basketball floor, and then there's that. And I love the Akpara guy. He's playing great. But that is so Tennessee basketball this season, him doing that.
Yeah, I mean, easy finishes are just not in the cards for Tennessee this year for whatever reason. And Akpar is probably the last guy that I expected to do that.
Yes. I mean, these guys yesterday, though, they let those two teams play to the point where Akpara, when they called they called both guys, Bino, when I saw that monitor, I said, uh-oh, they're going to get it. Didn't you think to yourself, 2 foul shots in the ball? Isn't that what you thought, Bino?
No, when the shove came after it, I didn't. I figured they were going to call a double technical just like they called.
Well, you're the man.
I mean, you got to be smart enough on their end not to react to that too. You just point at him like he first did and let it go.
Yep.
They're always going to get the reaction.
Yes. Back to the phones we go. I remind you, my friends at VIP Play, you bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Vandy is a slight favorite right now as we speak. So if you got the Vols going through the next round, for entertainment purposes only, throw $20 down, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly, and go for it. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. Say it, know it, and write it down. TN Tony. Those other promo codes are fugazi in my humble opinion. But and I only say that because Team Italia. Bri, who do we play today? I'm so into this tournament, I don't even know who we play. Bino, do you know who Team Italia plays?
Tennessee plays Vanderbilt.
Italy does not play today, Tony.
Thank you very little. Spaghetti and meatballs
Today's
for
games are United States and Canada and the Dominican Republic and Korea.
Bino, do you like the way Team Italia walks around doing all the Italian gestures? The up yours,
I absolutely
the money
love
thing,
their
the talking
celebration.
with their hands, and then everybody
Love
gets a
their
shot of
celebration.
espresso. They've got a blue blazer. I mean, they've really leaned into it. It's really funny.
I love it.
I saw where the president of Italy yesterday said something about it. She's proud. She basically said, I'm proud of our countrymen. She was kind of tongue-in-cheek with it.
You must not be concerned with keeping listeners, I guess, right?
Live always, 200-plus leagues, numerous bet types, props options. You've got TPC Sawgrass. Brian, do you have any bandwidth for TPC Sawgrass?
I might have a little bit more interest than some World Baseball tournament.
And Brian, to you know what I say? That's what I say to you, Brian. My friends at VIP Play, where everybody gets treated like a VIP. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. Might be the first ever commercial that we've ever had on this show that included me telling Brian to stick something straight up his rear end with an Italian... What do you call that? A gesture, Bino? Think that's ever happened in the history of recorded radio, Bino?
Probably not, Tom.
I bet there's,
Yet another first.
Another first. No wonder the A to Z Sports referred to me as legendary earlier in the... Legendary, Bino. You got to be around a while for them to say legendary, in a... But I like those kids. Those guys do a nice job. And legendary. Whatever that means. We're going to come back, get some legendary calls in. I want to hear from you. We will do some overtime. Bino knew it. I know it. You knew it. William Pattison in the playbook on the way next. Over here at wherever we are. But he's the Fan Run Radio guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for welcoming us into the family. It has been hand and glove. It has been mano a mano. I am a sheep for the bear. One of the great Steely Dan tracks left off Gaucho, by the way. The Bear, you ought to hear The Bear. It's a great jam. And the second arrangement's another song that should have been on that record that got erased after they recorded it. Some engineer accidentally hit the record button and erased the entire work. Thousands and thousands of hours. And Alex Benson, who called me a beak, Bino, or Basilio's beak. These guys are commenting on my looks, Bino.
It's an outrage.
I think I'm hot. As we continue with more, and I've been told that, as we continue with more after this.
Hey, I'm Alan, and we ship floors on Bristol Highway in Johnson City. Are you tired of walking around on that ratty-looking carpet that you have? Well, today's your lucky day, because we have Supercore on sale for $1.79. 58 colors we're liquidating. Supercore is the best waterproof floor with a lifetime warranty. Where are you going to find that anywhere else? Nowhere, let me tell you. $1.79, lifetime warranty. Come on down to Bristol Highway on your truck and trailer, and let's make a deal.
You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest, finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
We fired up, we focused, we prepared. And we're going to do some overtime. No question about it. This afternoon session, you got Kentucky, you got Florida, you got Tennessee, you got Vanderbilt, you got a brawl for it all. Our game goes off roughly 3:30 Eastern time, which I will. Is Kentucky, Florida, Bragg gets underway when?
In about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm selling us getting on the floor at 3:30. That game will go 2.5 hours. We'll get off at 4, right, Bino? Is that about right? 4, 4,
I'm going to
15.
say that we go between 3 and 3:30.
How? You got to warm up.
It's 30 minutes between when one game ends and the next one tips off.
No way.
We did 3:25 yesterday, so it won't be much after 3:30.
Yeah, but yesterday's game started at what time, Bri? They didn't start at 1 o'clock. They started at
the second game after the first game.
I'm sorry, Tony. You're right. It started at 12:30.
That's right.
Yeah, 12:30 and 3, and now it's 1 and 3:30.
I'm going to go to
4. It'll be 4.
Yeah.
I think our game didn't tip off until well after. It was like closer to 3:30.
Yeah,
ours tipped off.
I don't know
3:25.
I don't know how these teams put on these ticket stubs, what they put on there, and get away with it. 8:30 at night, and then the tip-off's 8:45. It's like they literally treat the audience like, who cares about you? And it's as time goes along, didn't we have guys at 10 o'clock tip-off one night? Because they had to accommodate jam all those games in for the women's tournament, right? That one midweek deal, one of the games tipped off at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, what?
Yeah, Auburn and LSU, I think, and that game should have tipped off at 3 a.m., to be honest.
I mean, show some respect. Put some respect on the name of the people. I want to encourage you, and we're going to get our calls in. Playbook William Patterson's on the way next. Check us out at tclub.team. Today, when the game goes final, we're on doing our thing. We'll be Sunday night, 7 o'clock. Rice fans. When the draw happens, we'll be live as well. It's going to be over at tclub.team. It's going to be absolutely next level. In the meantime, you're in good hands. William Patterson and his gang, and then Russell Smith and his folk. We love you. We appreciate you. G to the B to the O. I'm going to sit here and hang out with my man, Bry, and my man, Beano. We'll talk to you after the game.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Beano and Bry, are you guys looking forward to Will Wade, the human C, returning to the league? Because they don't like him over in NC State.
He coming back to LSU, Tony?
Yeah, I think that's right. That's a thought.
Did they not say McMahon is staying, or was that South Carolina?
No, South Carolina. I don't think. I think McMahon's AD said if he didn't make the tournament, he was gone at some point.
But they
haven't.
They haven't dismissed him yet, though.
No,
I've heard.
No, but I mean they're going to. It's tough for him this year because they actually spent money on his roster, and the two guys they spent money on got hurt. It's almost like it just wasn't meant to be for him there. But let's go back to our phones. On a day where Beano's fired up, focused, and prepared, that means I am. On a day where Beano thinks we're defeating Vanderbilt, that means I do. On a day where Beano thinks we're going to hit the baseball and take 2 out of 3 from Georgia, that means I do. We're going to take 2 out of 3 from Georgia, Beano. Good call by you.
I didn't make that call, Tony. I will be elated if that occurs.
Hello and welcome in. And we'll get our next call in. Hi, you're on the air.
What is up, Tony? It's Music City Sam.
Sam coming strong. Do you think that our boy Todd down there, who's already through and already a number 1 seed, do you think he'll be taking in the scenery today in his own little way from the bench?
I'm not sure, but I swore I heard something outside my window last night. I don't know if it was him or what it was, but
pretty next level, Bino. Some of the stuff down there, and I mean, no offense to him, but I don't remember other sitting head coaches where people are literally going to the press and saying, "Yeah, he was in my neighborhood, and he's like on a stakeout, and then he got in my DMs, and it's like, creeping Todd, pretty next level." Great.
Well, in reality, yeah. I'm in Knoxville actually right now, so I can swing by and get my copper card. But too bad there's no copper cellar on the Strip. It's a construction site.
Well, so there is a copper cellar out west, and they're good at any of the copper cellar family of restaurants, including Calhoun's, and they will take wonderful care of you. Also, Chesapeake's, which is a great call. Sammy, we were talking tomorrow. I was telling Bino off the air, we had talked with those fine folks about maybe doing a watch party tomorrow if the Vols win tonight. Go win tonight! Sammy, would you do you think if we did a watch party, people would show up tomorrow?
Of course.
Or do you think
Saturday,
that it's too
beautiful weather?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we would be down there. It would be down there, Bino, down there on the river. I mean, that is true.
Now, there's some kind of event, like a Bassmaster fishing exhibition this weekend.
Those people. They ain't got nothing on my watch party. You ain't Bassmasters.
Well, that might make it a little bit more difficult.
I don't care about the Bassmasters. Sam, do you? What takes precedence, Sam?
Is it the Italy bass team versus Korea, or which ones is it?
No, I think some of those. If I remember correctly, because I have been down there during the Bassmaster weekend, Red China is certainly is certainly represented. Probably North Korea, the Ruskies. Who else you got, Bino? Anybody else of a red hue? It's pretty red down there. No offense to those
Red
folks.
Storm.
The red. No offense to those folks. I love the Bassmasters. I got a couple friends that have competed in the Bassmasters, actually.
Shoot, they'd roll right up there and tie up and come right to your watch party, Tony.
Let me tell you something, Bino. Those guys are great athletes. Those competitive fishermen. Say what you want to say. It's all on the wrist.
They are. Hey, I've got a theory on these football totals. Why they're so low? Also, I mean, it's a 9-game schedule, so it's going to be harder to win regardless. But I think Vegas factors in that once certain teams are out of playoff contention, I don't think a lot of them care. And that a lot of their players are looking for their next team. And so they're more likely to lose. It's just a theory of mine, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's not baked into it.
I would think that when you're putting those numbers together, I would think a lot of that's formula, and then it has to get a little subjective. Or maybe it's just 1,000% formula, but here's the problem. I was talking with Nashville Lee about this morning, and I think he's got a great point. You can feed whatever you want into a computer, and you can use all these numbers, all this analytic stuff, any way you want to, but there still has to be a human element to all this when you're assessing value. It's an interesting time, Beanstar, isn't it? Especially in major college sports.
It is, Tony, and Sam, and I may be thinking with an old mind here, but all of that sounded like a dollar off sale to me. All of those sounded about one game low to me.
Yep.
And maybe it is the 9-game schedule. I don't know.
Maybe, Sam. I know this much. My first inclination yesterday was to say 7-5 was par, and I felt like I was on an island after hearing the panel say no, 8-4, and then Watson said 9-3, and I'm back to this. 7-5 was my par. That was my initial inclination, and I'm going to stay with that. 7-5 would be making a par for our football coach this year. You got 2 inexperienced quarterbacks against an extremely challenging schedule. I know everybody's in flux, but boy, that's a tough putt, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm on the same boat that it's as hard of a schedule as a lot of people think. It's definitely harder than it's been, but we do it. I can't remember how many teams we play with a coach that it's their first year at that program. A few of the teams have like 5 new offensive linemen, which we had last year. It's just so hard to predict what teams with so many transfers. I mean, because some of the teams that go in and get 40, 50 people transferring, it's just impossible to tell how they're going to gel together. So it's best just not bet the totals at all, because you're just going to get either really happy or really disappointed. There's just no way to predict it.
No doubt about it.
In my opinion.
No, you can't. Listen, you if you gamble on those totals, you're somebody you're better than I am. Especially this far out. Here's what we don't know. Who's going to get rated? Who's going to add players that put them over the top? In the, LSU sitting there at 8.5. I can almost promise you that they say there are 24 household type names that are going to change teams after spring ball. Now let's see what happens. I don't know. That could be just agent speak. I don't know. But I'll promise you this: if that's the case, Lane Kiffin's going to get at least 2 of them. Because if anybody's going to jump out there and give the middle finger to the entire establishment, it will be him. That's why he was going to win here, guys. He was going to give the middle finger to the entire establishment here, and we would have loved him. If he would have stayed, Bino, there'd be a statue for that guy on our campus. I really believe that. That's one of my great what-ifs.
I agree, Tony. I agree. I wish we could have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
You could do a whole show on what-ifs of Tennessee athletics.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the truth.
Oh, yeah.
It would be great.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, LSU is a good example. Before last year preseason, all I heard was, well, they went to the portal, they got a bunch of stuff. They're going to be, I guess, better on defense the previous, because they weren't good the year before, and they're returning their offense with Nussmeier, and then they implode. So that's just as likely as them going out tearing the world on fire.
Too many
hard,
variables for my blood. Plus, their
but
offensive
that's what makes
line.
it fun.
That's absolutely. It's why the numbers are going through the roof right now for college sports. This, all these transactions make the sport tough to follow, even for people to do it like I'm doing it for a living. It's hard to remember who's where, why, and how. But when the games kick off or tipped off or that first pitch happens tonight, it is it is extremely compelling. It is anything but boring. All these sports. Hey, that Lady Vol implosion, which is what that was, is anything but boring. And that does not happen without the transfer portal. And it's not Kim Caldwell's simply riding a rocket ship that's taken off and gone out of control. I mean, is some of it her doing? Sure. But how are you going to manage that? You don't know who these people are before you bring them on your campus. Lane Kiffin doesn't know who those people are before he brings them. You got to manage those people. Because in every bunch, you're going to get some turds. And you either, it's like Doug Dickey used to say, you either manage your turds or your turds run you over. And it's the truth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, Boo Carter ran us over last
That's exactly
year.
right. I guarantee you, if our head coach had a chance to do it all over again, he would have told Big Nick to hit the bricks in December, and he would have told Boo Carter and his people, it was really nice having you. I hope he learned that. I really want. Look, I'll tell you this right now. That strength and conditioning coach wouldn't put up with Boo Carter disappearing for a month. There's no way in hell. That's not you're not a serious organization when you're allowing that. And people, when I made those YouTube videos last year talking about what was going on behind the scenes, people were calling me every name in the book. Who was right? Who was right on that? I'm asking you. Just asking for a friend here. Because nobody ever comes back and says that. You cannot let a player take a month off and tell me you have a serious organization. Sam, that's not a serious thing, is it?
No, but no.
It's
just so hard when you have someone of that talent right in front of you, and you want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Sure. But you can't take a month off. You can't take – if you disappear for a weekend, okay, fine. A month? Like a month. And then the rest of the players are like, well, what about us? Do we get a month off? Crazy.
I mean, look at what that I read that police report on James Pierce in the article.
Man. Oh, man.
And it's a flat-out miracle that nothing happened at Tennessee that kicked him off the team. But that's the thing. You see a guy like that.
That's exactly
he's producing on the field, and
that's a
he's
good
so
point.
close to exploding. But
and that went both ways.
Fortunately,
because here's the thing about Rickea Jackson. I'm just going to say this because I'm going to speak the truth. Those two were volatile together. Neither one of them was perfect in that deal. You talk to people at UT, and there was concern from the Lady Vol camp and concern from the football camp that that was going to combust on their campus. That's why Rob Lewis said what he said online, and some other people around it have said what they've said. As long as those two were together, there was that element. And look, you have friends and I have friends that have girlfriends or spouse, whatever it is, and they're just volatile together. It's a thing. It's the truth. It was a concern for both parties. They had a volatile relationship, and it's a shame it blew up like that. But that police report is extremely scary, and James Pierce obviously is struggling with some form of mental illness. There's no doubt about that. It's a sad deal. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Well, I'll leave you with this. I'm glad I don't have those relationship issues because I had a buddy that had the police escort his girlfriend out one night, and then they were going to dinner the next night.
Yep,
so
that's it.
May God never put that in my life.
Thank you, my
but
brother.
You all have a good day. Go Vols.
That's right.
Hey, I had Tennessee yesterday by 10. That was my prediction. I'm going 8 today. Vols by 8. Go Big Orange.
Bang. Big ZD's got a good point. Nobody's going to report that stuff back then. Let me tell you, if we got into the business of reporting everything we knew, I mean, everybody's going to tell you you're lying. But he makes a good point. He said nobody reported it, and the Knoxville media told us the NFL was lying about Pierce having character issues. Now, I didn't go that far. I don't know if people did that, but I would never have done that. When the NFL talked about, and he slipped in the draft, on this show, we said, yeah. Because on this show last year, I pointed out that one of the things that some of the leaders on the team, I used James Pierce's name because he checked out last summer, the summer before last. And there were guys on the team like the Josephs kid that did not like it at all. See, I'm going to go back to the way this guy at Indiana manages his team. I'm going to say this to you right now. I'm going to ask Bino. Bino, the guy at Indiana, if a player took a month off, what do you think would happen to that player? The head coach at Indiana, Bino. What's going to happen?
He wouldn't come back.
Yeah. There's no way. I would venture to say that if one of Signetti's guys, I'm just telling you right now, if one of this new strength coach's guys misses like 2 workouts, I would venture to say he would go to the head coach and pressure him to suspend him. See, that's something I'm not saying I'm looking forward to it, but I think that's one of the sidebars that's going to make this new era that we're in with him and this Knowles guy extremely interesting because the leniency is over. The playing around with people, our head coach is, to me, this is me now, okay? I just hear things. I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. And we get things wrong. Everybody gets things wrong. Brent Hubbs, the all-knowing, gets things wrong. Everybody gets things wrong. We all get things wrong. I'll tell you this. The lax stuff that's gone on over there with this new strength coach, that stuff's over. The negotiating with people, that stuff's over. It's very interesting that all of a sudden this guy arrives on this campus and this McIntyre guy is all of a sudden gaining weight. Now, what do you think that is? Somebody tell me what that is. This guy's all of a sudden, I have expectations on you. And you're going to live up to those expectations. I'm going to hard coach you. And I asked Watson about that. He said, a guy like that will love that. See, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I think there's a chance, Larry Vaught, a great chance, in fact, a great chance that what you're going to see is what you're going to get. And the Vanderbilt game could end up being a very good thing that happened for us. Because, Bino, I promise you, this strength and conditioning coach that they say is borderline insane is not going to put up with any of that. I guarantee you he goes to the head coach and says, get this guy out of here. Or suspend him or do something. Which he should, by the way, Bino.
Yeah, sets a good tone, Tony. They're with them so much that it's important that you have that top guy there. Tony, I've been thinking ever since we earlier in the discussion, I wouldn't have wanted to be the AD, but I'd have sure liked to have been a fan here with Kiffin, Pearl, and Vitello as your head coaches.
The guys Kiffin was involved with when he walked out the door, that visit list, me and X have talked about that. I've got that email somewhere. X sent me that. The expected the guys that were supposed to come in when he tucked tail, it was going to be one of the more insane recruiting classes we've ever seen here. And how was Lane Kiffin doing it? I mean, that girl over in the Carolinas got caught. I mean, look, I'm not signing off on all that stuff, but the honey pots they were using, I mean, it's just the way it is. The guy was going to amass a tremendous amount of talent here. And the boosters were down with it. Okay? They were down with it. The guy was really, really, really going to win. So, 865-200-5402. One thing I'm adamant about, and I know we joke around a lot on here, but one thing I've learned from doing this is that you can say whatever you want to say about guys like Rick Barnes, but when you defend and guard your culture, and you don't put up with bullshit, and you don't put up with nonsense, and you don't let those guys drag you into it, you're better for it. I really believe that.
Dietrich Mostella.
I really believe that.
He set the tone early with that dismissal, and it still works today.
I really believe that. And when you negotiate with these kids and you show them weakness, you're on the clock. Josh Heupel was, if he didn't get that web guy, he was getting ready to be. He was getting ready to be on the clock. Okay. I mean, the Josephs guy, when I said it last year, did not want, you can't, what do you say? Why would you say that? Because it was true. That's why I said it. Because it was happening in real time. And I'm not going to, I hate that stuff. That's why I was saying it. I'm not going to talk about everything that's going on. But that stuff there, when you take a month off, I'm sorry, I'm a graduate of that place. I got no time for that. That's ridiculous. And here's the other thing about Boot Carter looking back at it. He wasn't even that good. Bino, did you see some All-American player? Was he Eric Berry? I mean, I might put up with that from Eric Berry. I might.
Well, you would never have to put up with that with Eric Berry. That's the reason he was Eric Berry.
That's the point.
And the reason Boo was not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the thing I love about Rick Barnes, him not playing footsie with the kid that's now at Baylor might cost him a Final Four. Bino, you think Rick Barnes would change that if he misses the Final Four because he doesn't play footsie with some clown, unserious player?
I don't think we're going to see any change out of Rick Barnes.
Jacoby Gillespie told me, he said, I thought I was playing hard on defense before I got here. He said, this guy, you take one defensive possession off and they're in your face. You come late to a meeting.
You know, I wish Rick Barnes was more offensive minded.
Me too.
I wished he was a little bit less stringent on that. But games like yesterday, you don't win games like yesterday because you can't get enough stops in a row to win them.
Yep. Back to the phones we go. And I hope Heupel tightens up his game because he could be a nice coach. I hope he tightens his game up. I hope these guys, I hope Owings drags him into it, man. I really do. That's one of my hopes. Hello and welcome in. You're on our extra time overtime. Hi.
What do you say, man?
Hey, fabulous fabulous. What a great surprise on a Friday.
I'm doing Tony Basilio. I'm eating while I'm on hold. Hey, Tony, you're just talking about the people not caring about the fans by those starting times being half hour, 15 minutes off, hour, whatever they are. They're so cavalier about the baseball schedule. It drives me crazy now. Maybe midweek games that don't matter, but you can't even go by their SEC schedule more than a couple of weeks out. Tomorrow's game's been listed at 2 forever on their schedule. Now it's 5, and I wouldn't known it, but I saw it in an article, and I went to the SEC network to make sure tomorrow's schedule, and they've still got it to be determined. So I guess they're not even on board yet. Who knows?
They ask more now of fans than ever before. And literally the day of a game, Freddie, you don't even know, by their whims, by a weather forecast. And look, I know what they're doing, but when you have something that's scheduled to be a 7 o'clock start, and say you bought tickets because you want to bring your kid there, and maybe it's a gift or something, now all of a sudden it starts at 4 o'clock. What, do I got to get you out of school early to go see a midweek baseball game? Because that's what they do. They just do this thing nilly-willy. They move these games around. Freddie's exactly right. I hadn't even thought about that.
And
they don't even give you a warning that they're going to do it sometimes.
And me being an old shift worker, I worked 7-day rotation for 7 years.
Yep.
You change the start time, and you change everything for a lot of people. So, hey, Tony, about this World Baseball Congress or Classic or whatever it's called, anytime baseball fans just about are universally statistical fans, so there's a lot of math and stuff involved. And that game the other night when Italy and Mexico were playing, and they had so many qualifiers in it, like if Italy wins, the U.S. gets to go, or if they score 7 runs, U.S. gets to go. If Mexico scores 6 runs or wins, da-da-da-da-da-da. So when Italy got ahead 6-0, the U.S. team had already qualified for that slot. Just barely being ahead 6-0. And I wonder, I don't even know if I wonder if the commentators even realized that.
Freddie, have you guys seen, because you make a great point. I was so confused. I called C. I said, explain it to me. Of course, he knew it. He knew the formula. How the hell do you know that, man? He goes, well, this is the way they do it, and they determine it. And I'm going, damn. I mean, my little pea brain was short-circuited like 5 words into him trying to explain that to me. Freddie, this DeRosa guy said yesterday in a press conference, when I was on the Major League Baseball Network, I really knew that we weren't already qualified. Now, let me ask you guys something. In the era, we all grew up with Watergate. We all grew up with all these scandals. Why do people always have to lie? Why couldn't he just come out and say, yeah, here's the thing about the World Baseball Classic. It's something we're trying to grow, and it's sort of an ad hoc, made-up tournament. And, we're trying to grow the sport. And, I just kind of missed the boat on that. It's kind of complicated. I missed the boat on it. Why do you think he did that, Freddie? Why do you think he doubled down and said, yeah, I really knew.
Because that's kind of old school, man. The old coaches never are going to admit they didn't know what the heck was going on. So he just sticking to it, I guess.
Bino, you believe he knew?
No, Tony, and doesn't matter what profession it is. The hardest 3 words in English language to say is "I was wrong," and he's a noted analyst, prideful. He obviously isn't going to say he was wrong.
And the thing about that WC thing was, with them ahead 6-0, Mexico would have to score 7 to win it.
Yep.
And Italy would have to score 7 to win it, or lose it or whatever.
Yes.
But here's something that Brian brought up the other day that I haven't really thought about it in a long time. And he was talking to you, Tony, or it may have been Bino, it could have been Monday, about what a great job the NCAA basketball has done about branding the Final Four. That we really wouldn't think anything that particular about it if it didn't carry that brand. And I'll give you a great example why that's correct. College baseball. If you're one of the top 8 teams, they tell you you're in the World Series. And everybody wants to be in the World Series, so all you got to do is finish 8th. But if you finish 8th in basketball, you don't feel good about it at all. So, and here's the thing about it. You don't ever have no 8 teams in the World Series. Really, the World Series should be the last 2 out of 3 where there's 2 teams left playing. Omaha would just be the finals. But they were smart enough to call that the World Series to really get their game on, on the news and everything. So
makes sense to me.
Yep. And Freddie, have you watched this World Baseball Classic? Because I've kind of enjoyed it.
I have. I haven't watched it like I watched the Vols of the Yankees, but I've certainly watched it.
Yep. And
I want to send a shout out to whoever brought Henry Ford onto our ball team this year. That guy, I was just looking at it.
Yep.
He's leading the balls in batting average, hits, homers, RBIs, total bases, and OPS.
A hell of a player.
Other than that, he hasn't been much of a find.
He's like Nate Ament in the last 10 minutes yesterday, guys. That's what he is. He's like his own offense right now.
He's a 109-mile-per-hour guy every time he steps up at his bat, it seems like. Hey, Tony, I know people are on hold, but I just wanted to throw a couple little things out and just tell you hello and all that kind of stuff. Have a good one.
Freddie, I love you. There's actually nobody on hold because your brother said that he's quitting at the 30-minute mark, and that's, he set the tone, which, really hurt.
Thanks for the shout-out, Freddie. I really enjoyed that.
Find people, and please stay right there. As Bino, love you, brother. We'll talk to you Sunday night.
Tony, thank you so much, and everybody have a great weekend, and go Big Orange.
Yep, G to the B to the O and beat Vandy. We love you. We appreciate you. Peace. Talk to you after the game. Brian Hartman is, I don't know, conscientiously objecting. I don't know what Brian Hartman's doing these days. He's kind of embarrassed himself, but, whatever. Momo Hanks will be with us today. Mo Maury. Brian, what do you think of having Maury on that post game and whatnot? As the throaty said and whatnot today, he said Maury Hanks is doing a good job and whatnot, Mo.